Hello, everyone. I'm Sheldon Barlat Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. Always a pleasure.
Mm.
Such good company. I cannot wait to reintroduce you to our next guest. He'll share his first and last name and all he's up to.
Sheldon, I'm Louis Bezich, men's health advocate, contributing writer to phillyvoice.com, and the author of Crack the Code, 10 Proven Secrets that Motivate Healthy Behavior and Inspire Fulfillment in Men Over 50. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so good. I always feel better when we chat. I always feel better when we chat. What do we got going on today?
Well, Sheldon, I want to share an experience I recently had with our viewers because number one, it really renewed my faith that there are indeed men over 50 out there that care about their health and their lifestyle. So that was good. But more importantly for our viewers, there are some lessons, some takeaways that I got from this experience that I want to share because I think it's a message that they need to hear.
Yeah.
So let me give you the backdrop. I was privileged to chair, or not to chair rather, but to moderate a panel of physician experts on men's health. The focus of the forum was men's health, and we had an oncologist, cardiologist, a primary care doc. We even had a personal trainer there. Really, a really good panel of experts that could share their knowledge and insight on men's health issues, and more importantly, take questions from the audience. We had a lot of a good interaction. We quickly got into prostate and men's sexual health and all sorts of other really meaty topics that really, again, made me feel good that there are guys out there that care about themselves. We had about 70 men, a few of their wives and
Ah,
significant others were there, but 70 guys. So I thought it was really good. Now, the age range, they kind of skewed on the higher end of the 50 plus,
yeah.
which was fine.
Yeah.
But it also, based on the nature of their question, it suggested that, a lot of these guys were already struggling with some health issues, and that sort of prompted them to come here and so first point to make is that, you don't have to wait until you get, the 50, 60, 70, and you have to go because something has occurred. That's part of the lessons we'll talk about today. But it was a really great experience, and it really had three main takeaways that I want to share with our viewers.
Oh, I absolutely love this. I think now more than ever, we're not only having these conversations online, but we're taking them offline, right? We're gathering in a room, we're looking at each other eye to eye, and we're really providing safe and brave spaces to have these conversations where it used to be taboo. It used to be like barely having them with your physician.
Yes.
Now creating community around it, I think is so powerful. I think is so powerful. So what are the
Yeah.
takeaways that you were able to
The
grab?
takeaways are so the three takeaways. Number one, see your doctor. Okay. We've talked about that many times, but
Yes.
it was clear that, I was sitting there and, the docs are giving all this great advice. And I at one point called a timeout. I said, gentlemen, please remember that all this good advice, all this doesn't happen unless you get there.
Unless you get
And
there.
so we talked about, the stereotypical, views on masculinity. And, if I'm not feeling bad, then why do I need to go to the doctor? And, the guys, they made the point that, prevention is so important because so many health issues, are silent issues, right? People are asymptomatic, right? They feel fine, but they don't know unless they get tested and do some blood work or whatever that there's an issue. So number one, get to the doctors and get over the stigma of masculinity that somehow I'm being less than the man if I go to the doc.
Right.
Number two, again, something we've talked about a lot. It's not just about you guys.
Right.
There are
Right.
other people out there, believe it or not, that care about your sorry butt
Right.
sometimes and
Exactly.
actually love you, your loving
Actually love.
constituency. And so, it's so important to draw strength and purpose and motivation from those loving constituency members, right? And
Yeah.
so if you're not around to take care of them or to, be part of their lives, that's a loss on their part.
Lots of.
So think about that. It's not just about you. And number three, something I really, really like a lot, and the experts back that up. It's never too late to
Mm,
start leading a healthy lifestyle, right? I don't care where you are. I just wrote a piece for Philly Voice about this, and looked, the literature shows from Johns Hopkins, right? Very credible organization that they did a survey of people, 6,000 people between 44 and 84, and found that if they adopted a healthy lifestyle, diet, a little bit of exercise, they
yeah.
reduced the risk of death by 80%. 80%.
80.
It doesn't matter how old you are, you
Yeah,
can have an impact. Healthy behavior can impact your health. So,
I love
number
it.
three, it's never too late. So,
It's never too.
those were the three takeaways, Sheldon.
Yeah.
I thought it was important to share. They're pretty fundamental and basic, but it's like all the fundamentals. It doesn't
Yeah.
hurt to repeat, repeat, repeat to drive those points home.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that especially in like number one, going to see the doctor, right? All of the excuses, let's throw them out the window. All of the things, I'm too busy, I'm okay, I don't feel bad, I've been in the best shape of my all the things, right? My body will tell all the things. And but there's so many hidden things that are happening, especially as you get
Sure.
older, that you don't really know until you like really open the hood, right? To be
Yeah,
able to figure it
exactly.
out. And so much changes. So I love that. I love that. I love that. And like as you get older, there's also additional specialists I think that are really
Oh,
necessary, especially
absolutely.
the prostate. Eye
Right.
care, I think, is a really interesting thing.
Yeah,
Hearing is a really different. I mean, I'm saying this as a daughter of a 79-year-old, close to 80-year-old man who's, again, willing to go to the doctors, but the doctor's appointments change as you get
sure.
the next
Sure.
appointment, which I think is really important.
You
And
know, getting your colonoscopy and all those kind of
then
basics are super, super important.
100%, 100%. And to be quite honest, let's be honest, these aren't fun. Going
No,
to get a colonoscopy is not fun, right? And so we understand why you want to avoid it. But there are things, just rip it off like a band-aid, as I like to say. Just make sure
yeah,
that you get it done. It's better to know than to not know. I loved your point about family, right? Family and those around you, those who love you. And it doesn't always have to be immediate family. It could be coworkers or organizations that
absolutely.
you're a part of, or where you work and the camaraderie that you have in that way. I don't think that people think about so often, right? And selfishly and beautifully selfishly in some cases,
Yeah,
how our lives affect others,
absolutely. You know,
happen if we
you're
weren't around.
so right that we don't realize sometimes how much we do impact the lives of others and
Yeah.
that they actually do, we give them some positive aspects of their life. And so that's real important.
Yeah, it's so important. And I just, all of these different factors and the way in which you've really structured it, and then be able to be willing. So I want to thank you, be willing to meet offline and be able to create community around this. Did you think that, in your observation of the event, that people were like, oh, I'm not alone, right? It's not
Oh
only
yeah.
me, right? Did you get that
Yeah,
feeling?
absolutely. No, the point you made earlier is great. There's comfort in community,
Yeah.
right? When you're with a bunch of guys that, again, some of their loved ones, it's a sense that, hey, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who has these questions. I'm not the only one who's maybe a little uncomfortable. But then when I see that other folks have the same questions, so that makes me more apt to share and
Yeah.
to engage in the conversation. Absolutely. There's strength in numbers and there's comfort in numbers.
There's comfort in numbers. And the last one, of course, it's never too late. It's never too late. And I think that a lot of people retreat to that. Well,
Yeah.
I'm too old to find a new doctor. The interesting thing,
Mhm.
I have to be really quite honest, especially as people get older, your physicians pass away. Like your
Yes.
physicians age out, right? Or they retire, not to be so dramatic. They just retire. They want to go to Boca. They want to relax, right? So the
Yeah.
physician that you've been seeing all of your life that was significantly older than you at the time
Mhm.
is now retired. So starting all over and, being able to share all your ailments seems exhausting, but is necessary, but is so necessary. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And think of the alternative.
Yeah, right.
A little bit of work that goes into it. Again, over time, we've always talked about the analogies, men
Yeah,
seem to spend more time and concern about their cars and making sure they get, get
right.
their cars checked out on a regular basis. Like take that same energy, that same purpose,
Sure.
and apply it to your own health.
Absolutely, absolutely. So good. Well, congratulations on moderating that panel. I know that there's so much that you do and we meet you on stages on a regular basis because you are committed
Yes.
to really advocating for all of the things in which you discuss in your book and otherwise. How do people get in touch with you, my dear friend, to learn more?
On social media, it's at Louis Bezich. And my website is louisbezich.com. You'll see what's going on in my world, and you can see all the things we like to share about men's health and physical fitness.
Oh, so good. All of the content, I promise you, you will not be disappointed when you follow, fan, and like my dear friend from all of us here at This Is It TV. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and we will see you soon. Take care.